my like what do you want? Like this is my like there's nothing to say about it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie.
Then you have magic.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie. I'm a bit rusty because I haven't made a YouTube video in a hot minute, to be honest. I've been focusing more on streaming, which I really fell in love with. Anyhow, I hope that you've been good. In today's video, I wanted to talk about beauty. This is something that is always sort of like omnipresent in my mind for me personally, because unfortunately it is something that I do struggle with in terms of, you know, feeling confident in myself and confident in my looks or whatever, not comparing myself to others and things like that. Maybe we can start with a question. How do you perceive yourself? Is your physical appearance something that you walk around thinking of, or is that something that you're like, hey, I look like that and that's just what it is? What do you want? Like this is my there's nothing to say about it. It has definitely not been my experience. I've always been of the opinion that the standards of beauty that we have, at least here in the Western Hemisphere, or let's say at least like in North America or whatever, are difficult. I have personally felt like, as a Black woman, and I know that this is an experience that a lot of Black women have, is kind of struggling navigating through their own perception of their beauty and what society deems as beautiful. You will notice, and I know some people are like, no, but like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It is interesting how I guess that said eye is centered around with beauty that aligns more with Eurocentric standards. And if this is not something that you've ever paid attention to before, well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but it is the reality. Let's say the Black women that are A-listers, super duper popular. In terms of physical features, they do tend to have more Eurocentric looks to them. So usually paler skinned, maybe a nose that is not very large, quote unquote. Even their hairstyles that are being promoted, and we've made a whole video about that, they tend to be longer. It could be wigs or whatever, that's not the issue here. If you're like,
oh no, people, oh my god, people think things people cannot wear wigs.
Girl, stop. But even seeing that the people that are promoted to us the most, it is very rare, for me at least, to see a Black woman being very, very successful and popular, or that does not fit the Eurocentric beauty standards, that does not either wear wigs to have like straighter hair type of thing, because that is just a fact. When I grew up, I did not deem myself beautiful. Part of it was the color of my skin, my hair texture, my features, because as much as there are some features that we say are beautiful, you know, fuller lips, big butts, whatever. I was like, okay, but like nobody's interested in me. I'm not saying that I fit that, but I was like, but okay, but you know, the people that were shown to me, usually they were not dark-skinned Black women. Usually they did not have afro-textured hair, like as their regular hairstyle. I've never felt like with whatever features that I have currently, I will be able to also go and do all these great things and be so popular and play in movies. Not necessarily that it was my goal, but it was sort of attesting that, okay, well, to get to that level of fame or whatever, or to get to that certain level of success, you do need to look a certain way. I know that the Hollywood industry and blah, 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 some people might say they're not good examples because they are super picky. Exactly. The thing, unfortunately, is that whole industry does have an effect on the way we perceive ourselves. I remember growing up thinking, and I distinctly remember because I had told my mom at the time, well, you know, when I go to prom one day, nobody will want to take me to prom because I'm Black. I straight up said that. And it was not because it was something that my parents said in my household. It was never like, oh, oh, black people with like their nose. Like, so for me, it was a direct result of the experiences that I was going through and the things that I was seeing. It was really an accumulation of the things that I saw on TV, the things that I saw in the media. And it really made me struggle and really wonder, okay, well, is this going to be my life? I really, really wish that I was able to just live my life and I look like what I look like. It's nor positive nor negative. And also embrace all my qualities and embrace the person that I am. However, there was always that part of me that was stuck on, my appearance, my weight, and just feeling kind of out of place. Never feeling like those features or that part of me was desirable. I'm sure you've probably heard a lot, like some people in your surroundings say like, oh, well, I don't like black women, but it's just,
it's a preference.
Usually preferences are not for something that you exclude. Preferences are for something that you include. Usually when people say, oh, well, I prefer that, they don't say I prefer not XYZ. It is easy to feel out of place because I personally do. I do hate the fact that I compare myself, especially when you're in a space where there are not a lot of minorities, especially when you're in a space where there are not a lot of black women. And beauty standards suck because there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, yeah, sure, you could get surgery, but there's nothing that you can do as an individual to fit within that, because if you don't fit in, then you simply don't fit in. Then the question is, do you absolutely need to fit in? Absolutely not. And not everyone is going to fit within the beauty standards or whatever. Most people, and what we should aspire, and what I should also aspire myself, is just to be myself and live my life. And because what else is there to see here? And don't get me wrong, I don't want to have I don't want to have a smaller nose. I don't want to have a smaller, whatever. I'm not trying to not initially have the traits that I have. What I'm trying to say is that I am disappointed that this is the reality. That the reality is that no matter what, there are people that will think that I'm ugly, or that all, black women or black individuals or black women are ugly just because. And there's no reason, and it's a matter of preferences. If you were to ask me, what if it's one of your friends, your sister, whatever, that comes to you and says the same, like these types of things, now I'm gonna say, listen, you're a beautiful human, you're a beautiful person. I know it sounds cliche, but like seriously though, I do find that like everyone is beautiful in their own ways, unless you have like a repulsive or a disgusting personality. I'm gonna think that you're a beautiful person, Of course, there are some people that I find like super attractive or whatever, but yeah. So the things that I felt like did not allow me to be beautiful were associated or are associated with my African descent features, and that's just what it is. But sometimes I do wonder if I'm gonna leave that mindset one of these days, because it is definitely exhausting. Even in music, you will hear some, especially in like hip-hop, rap, whatever, you will hear like, oh, they like red bones, they like yellow bones, whatever. Like, so people that have lighter skin, you'll hear people publicly speak words, have words come out of their mouth on how they find dark skin women specifically ugly. You'll look at video clips, you would look at the radio, you would look at the people that are kind of like further along in their career, in their lives, or seem successful. They don't look like me. That's just what it is. They don't. There are plenty of dark skinned women that are celebrities or whatever, but how many of them are like A-listers?
Not that many.
And you know what's crazy? And I saw a post on Twitter recently about that, about how this lady, this black lady, does not feel beautiful with her natural hair. I wouldn't say that I relate exactly, but depending on how my hair is styled, I will not feel as beautiful. And sometimes as well, I feel like I seem to feel more beautiful and more confident in my physical appearance when I'm wearing a wig with like long braids, when I have braids, you know, when I'm wearing something that does not show my natural hair in one of its purest forms. And that is so absolutely crazy to me. And don't get me wrong, because I do love my hair. I do love my hair, and I do think I look my best. It's just not my best. That's not how I want to say it. It's almost as if I feel like I am more beautiful because I am more authentically myself. I find it so messed up that I will feel more pretty because I am wearing another hairstyle that does not reflect my natural hair texture. You see what I mean? All I know is that it does make me feel a bit uncomfortable. It's almost as if I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm not even sure what to say. Like, every time I make these videos, I'm like, I don't know. It's just food for thoughts, talking about random things, and just kind of like let my brain run wild and just say all the things that you've been meaning to say, and just let's see how it goes, you know? Please, everyone, let me know, how do you perceive yourself in the society and in the world that we live in? Do you feel confident? Do you just feel neutral? Do you feel heavily affected or influenced by the things that you see on social media or the things that you see in the media overall? Please let me know. You know, leave a comment down there. So on that note, everyone, please take some time to check out my other social media if you want to stay in touch with me. You can catch me on Twitch, _umbrella. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I will see you in another video. Bye.